just be normal, like smoking. I'm very happy. And then after, my mum, she might say something like, Rich! Like, and then I'll just, whoa! Like, that's all the things it does to you, seriously. It's a dangerous thing. If you're 13 or younger, stay away from it till you're like 21 or something, till you know what it actually... Because all the 13-year-old kids like on the streets these days are walking around, big ones, like, they don't know what it's doing to their brains. Seriously, take it from someone with a very lot of experience.
It's stronger than before it used to be, because it's got too much chemicals added to it and it fucks up your head. You lose memory in your head.
But are these views right? Is it really true that the skunk out there can play havoc with your mind? Here at the Institute of Psychiatry, I've agreed to take part in a unique medical trial designed to find out. It's part of their ongoing research into the link between stronger cannabis and psychosis. The scientists are interested in the effects of the ratio between the two main components of cannabis, THC and cannabinoid. So on one day, I'm being injected with pure THC, something like ultra-high potency skunk. On the other day, I get a mixture of THC and cannabinoid, more like the natural makeup of the cannabis plant. When I get the injections, I don't know what I'm getting. It turns out that this one is a mixture of THC and cannabinoid. After 10 minutes, it hits me. With the THC and cannabinoid, no matter how hard I try to take the experiment seriously, it all seems hilarious.
I'll get you something a bit softer than that.
Sorry.
What does it feel like? It looks very enjoyable.
My God, it's fun! It was amazing. Amazing. With the pure THC, it's a different story. It's horrible. It's like being at a funeral. Worse. It's sort of like, it's just so depressing. You'd want to, top yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of morbid. After 15 minutes, I begin a series of psychological tests designed to measure whether I've become psychotic, and if so, how severely. I feel agitated? No. On the THC and cannabinoid mixture, I seem really flippant. On this drug, I just don't care. I'm experiencing profound insights. Bollocks. I'm worried the state of mind won't end. I don't want it to end. This experience is frightening. Strong. I feel agitated. Yeah. I do. But with the pure THC, I'm suspicious, introverted, weird. Every question seems to have a double meaning. Trouble is, my attention's like really massively into just a word or something. It's like, but not in a happy. It's like in a morbid. Morbid is. That's how I feel. Morbid. It's an anxiety. It's like a panic attack. Do you know what I mean? It's like you ask me a question, I'm thinking, I don't know the answer. I'm just one of many volunteers taking part in this trial. The doctors are hoping to answer some of the really important questions about cannabis and psychosis. For example, do people react differently to exactly the same dose of THC? And can cannabinoid reduce the psychotic effect of THC? It certainly made me uncontrollably giggly. 2 hours later, the effects have worn off. So just how psychotic did I get? The psychiatrists use a standard test which measures changes in psychotic symptoms.
And on the first day you scored 1. Your change from baseline to the peak experience was 1, which is insignificant. Above 4 is thought to be clinically significant. Above 4 would be what you might expect in schizophrenic psychosis, and you scored 14 on the second day, so you were really quite persecuted, and really it felt quite unpleasant.
I scored 14.
An increase of 14 points on pure THC was very high and suggests that the new breeds of skunk can play havoc with your mind. But with no history of mental illness and no predisposition to schizophrenia, I was at no long-term risk. The real worry is for heavy users of skunk.
Hey yo, this is J-Rock, and I got more skills than average. Put us together, man, we're more than all of y'all can manage.
One person with first-hand experience is J-Rock, lead rapper of the hip-hop band Big Brothers. He decided to go public about his negative experience on weed.
Over time, I would say it became like I was super paranoid constantly. And with the fame, it made things even worse because, you know, when people would come up to me and ask me for an autograph, I think there was something else, you know, a trick up their sleeve or something. They wanted to rob me or fight me or whatever the situation. So, you know, I didn't feel comfortable in myself anymore, you know, so I decided to stop smoking, yeah. And I'm not saying it's anything like crack cocaine or, you know, it's not a hard drug, but over time and through excess, it's really dulling your brain cells. It's really limiting your advancement.
The research at the Institute of Psychiatry is beginning to unravel the way cannabis really works on the mind. And what's become clear to me over this whole journey is that there are a whole range of different varieties and different strengths of cannabis out there, and they can have wildly different effects.
You have the pro-cannabis lobby who say cannabis is a sacred boon to mankind. It has no adverse effects. It's hardly even a drug. It's something that will enhance your life. And then you have the protagonist or the prohibitionists who think it's the devil's construction, cannabis, that, as you say, one puff and you go mad. I mean, each of these are equally ridiculous, and I think that has been the difficulty, that somehow or other there's been an ideological dispute and relatively little research.
There's no doubt that cannabis, like alcohol, is a potent drug. And whatever the outcome of the debate about the toughening up of the anti-cannabis laws, millions of people are still going to use it. The scary thing is that, unlike Amsterdam, many people here just don't know what they're buying and the risks they're taking. So, I've come to my conclusion. Street skunk is definitely off my menu, and I'm back to my drug of choice.
Comedy Walliams and Lucas style next on BBC Three in Little Britain.